What is intellectual disability? Intellectual disability is a condition that affects a person's ability to think, learn, and solve problems. People with intellectual disabilities may have difficulty understanding complex ideas, remembering information, or learning new skills at the same pace as others. This condition also affects a person's ability to adapt to everyday life, including tasks such as communicating, taking care of themselves, and interacting with others. The severity of intellectual disability can vary, ranging from mild to severe. Intellectual disability usually appears before the age of 18 and can have many causes, including genetic conditions, problems during pregnancy or birth, infections, or de novo mutations. With proper support, education, and care, people with intellectual disabilities can learn new skills, live independently, and lead fulfilling lives.
The causes of intellectual disabilities. Genetic causes. Some intellectual disabilities are caused by changes in a person's genes. These changes can be inherited from the parents or occur as de novo mutations, which are new changes in the DNA that were not present in either parent. Examples include Down syndrome, Fragile X syndrome, and other chromosomal disorders. Problems during pregnancy or birth. Intellectual disability can also result from complications during pregnancy or birth. These may include exposure to harmful substances such as alcohol or drugs, infections in the mother, malnutrition, or a lack of oxygen during birth. Such factors can affect the developing brain and lead to learning and developmental difficulties. Environmental and social causes. In some cases, intellectual disability can develop due to environmental factors, including extreme neglect, lack of stimulation, or severe social deprivation during early childhood. Exposure to toxins like lead or other harmful chemicals can also increase the risk. Medical conditions and illnesses. Certain illnesses, infections, or injuries that occur during infancy or early childhood, such as meningitis, encephalitis, or head injuries, can interfere with brain development and lead to intellectual disability. Does intellectual disability are from the genes? Yes, intellectual disability can come from genes, but not always. Let me explain. Some intellectual disabilities are genetic, meaning they are caused by changes in genes or chromosomes. These changes can be inherited from parents or can happen as de novo mutations, which are new genetic changes that appear for the first time in a child. Examples include Down syndrome, Fragile X syndrome, and other genetic conditions that affect brain development. However, not all intellectual disabilities are caused by genes. They can also result from problems during pregnancy or birth, such as lack of oxygen, infections, exposure to alcohol or drugs, or premature birth. Injuries, severe illnesses, or infections during early childhood can also affect brain development and lead to intellectual disability. In many cases, intellectual disability is caused by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. This means genes may increase the risk, while life events determine how the condition develops. So, intellectual disability can be genetic, but it is not always inherited and is never anyone's fault.
Which parts of the brain are involved in intellectual disability? Intellectual disability mainly involves the cerebral cortex, especially the frontal lobes, which are responsible for thinking, reasoning, problem-solving, planning, and decision-making. When these areas do not develop properly or are damaged early in life, a person may struggle with learning, understanding complex ideas, and controlling behavior. The hippocampus is another important area involved. It plays a key role in memory and learning. If the hippocampus is affected by genetic conditions, lack of oxygen, infections, or injury, it can make it difficult to form new memories and learn new information, which contributes to intellectual disability. The cerebellum, which helps with coordination and also supports thinking and attention, can also be involved. Problems in this area may affect not only movement but also cognitive skills such as focus and processing speed. In many cases, intellectual disability is not caused by damage to just one part of the brain, but by widespread differences in brain development and neural connections. These differences affect how brain cells communicate with each other, leading to challenges in learning, reasoning, and adapting to everyday life. Does it revolves with the brain? Yes, intellectual disability is directly related to the brain. Intellectual disability occurs because of differences or damage in the brain that affect how it develops and functions. The brain is responsible for thinking, learning, remembering, and solving problems. When certain parts of the brain do not develop normally or are affected by injury, infection, or genetic changes, it can lead to difficulties in these areas. The severity of intellectual disability depends on which parts of the brain are affected and how much they are impacted. Some people may have mild difficulties, while others may face more significant challenges in learning and daily functioning. In short, intellectual disability revolves around the brain, as it is the organ that controls learning, reasoning, memory, and adaptive skills.